The end is near. Happy Mother's Day. You have to think that I'm crazy, right? I'm not. Donna had me tested. I was this close. It's kind of crazy, right? Not Mother's Day. End times. Destruction of the world. This is supposed to be about the warm fuzzies. However, I will say, I know every mother here has threatened end times on their children, right? I brought you into this world, and I can take you out. Culmination of end times really is the true love of God, right? Culmination of our redemption. Process of us being saved is completed at end times. Christ coming back. Now, you see somebody like me on the street, the end is near. What do you think? Go to the other side, right? Crazy. Have you ever seen somebody like this? Have you ever run into it? Right? Now you might think, I'm glad I'm bald. I'll tell you. I don't know how you people do it, all this hair in your face and things like that. Us end time prophets think we're crazy because we don't have too good of a track record, right? Ronald Wyland, self-proclaimed prophet, end times prophet, says that the world will end on June 9th, 2019. I'm not writing a sermon that day. You got a bucket list, get on it. That's not too far away. Of course, Pastor Ronald also predicted this in 2011, 2012, 2013. It seems if you're an end times prophet, you're like a weatherman. You don't have to be right. You just kind of guess at it, and maybe it'll happen, right? There's a Russian cleric, Rasputin. I call him Rasputin. Rasputin, who was assassinated in 1916. He was a cleric to the Tsars, right before the revolution, the overturn. He predicted that on August 23rd, 2011, that the world was going to end. Do you think that happened? You'd have to ask, right? We're still here. Harold Camping. What's that? I would say, just be quiet till I'm done with this. It's crazy, right? Harold Camping, do you remember that? 2011. I remember because he had billboards. I forget where we were traveling. In some of the cities, like, October 21st, 2011, the world is going to end. There's a long list of them, right? Nostradamus, Sun Young Moon, right? Marshall Applewhite. Does that ring a bell? No. Heaven Gate Call? Does that ring a bell? Yeah. Marshall taught 31 people that there was a spaceship following the comet Hale-Bopp. And the only way to get on that ship was to commit suicide. Comet came by, 31 people on the hill, took their lives. faith. Jim Jones, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Gene Dixon. You know what, Joe? There's some pastors in this list. How crazy is that? Jerry Falwell. 2000, no, it was in the 1900s, 19 something. Pat Robertson. Martin Luther. Martin Luther said that the world wouldn't last past 1600. It's crazy, right? You think every generation thinks this is the last? We do, right? You know, it can't get much worse than this. And then it does. End times prophecy is not a new thing. The great and terrible day of the Lord. Now, how do you mix great and terrible together? Great for some, not so great for others, right? The book of Isaiah, Daniel, Amos, all prophesied that the end was going to come, that a remnant would remain, that God would wipe the slate clean and restore the world to its former holiness, its former glory. We often think that end times is the destruction of everything. It's not. It's the reconciliation completed. Kevin read it. It's like when these times come, lift up your head, people, because your redemption is near. So Jesus is talking to the disciples. They're walking by the temple. This is second temple. And the disciples are looking up and they're just in awe. Aware how holy this place is. The place that God dwells. Now, Jewish identity is centered in this temple. Albeit, the second temple was like a used RV compared to the first temple. Second temple, it was just a mere shadow. But still, it was glorious. The center of their religion. It's the center of their identity. And you can see how demoralizing that is when it gets destroyed. Everything they believed in is gone. And Jesus said, you think that in a temple is something? You think it's glorious? Do you think that's where God dwells? I'm going to tell you something. There's going to come a time there's not going to be one stone upon another. Not one stone upon another. Jesus said this many times. He said, I will tear down the temple and build it up again in what? 3 days. Resurrection, right? The new temple. The old temple is past. The temple, as Paul tells us, is us, with Christ dwelling within us. Your body is a temple. So Jesus is telling his disciples, this is what's going to happen. And they ask the age-old question, the question kids ask in the back seat of a car every time you're on a journey. Repeat it, church.
Are we there yet?
No! Not yet. Not yet. But then Jesus tells his disciples, okay, we got signs, right? Like a fig tree, when it's the leaves are going to come out. You know summer's coming near, so he gives these signs. And so it's like, okay, let's do a check mark. Let's talk about these signs. There'll be false prophets.
Yes.
Check. There will be those who come and proclaim to be me, false messiahs. Yeah, that said something, right? Let's see. Nation shall rise up against nation. Okay? We will hear of wars and rumors of wars. There'll be earthquakes, pestilence, diseases. Jerusalem will be surrounded on every side by enemies. Right? There will be signs in the heavens. You blood moon people say, yeah. I don't know so much about the signs in the heavens. I think that's still to come. So he goes down through and he says all of these things. When you see these things happen, people will hate you because of my name. What do you think, Susan? That's what it says. Do you think people hate Christians? In some places, right? Mostly all places. You will be persecuted. Check. Church is being persecuted, right? And these are just the growing pains. These are just the birthing pains of something better coming. Because there's a promise also. You who stand firm. Matthew would say, you stand firm, you have abundant life. It's eternal life. Luke would say, stand firm, you will be saved. That's scary, Rhonda. I should. You will be saved. But here's the thing in Matthew. Matthew says, when the gospel is preached to all nations in the world, then the end will come. When the gospel is preached to all nations in the world, then, Matthew 24, you can look it up, then the end will come. Now, what kind of responsibility does that put on us? Do we have a response? Yeah, Jesus is coming. Look busy, Tony.
Yes.
Oh, you thought, well, the Lord's just going to come when the Lord comes, right? And as those preachers saying, I know the time and the day, well, that puts them in a little better place than Jesus. There's a secret within the Holy Trinity. A close-knit body, and the Holy Spirit and Jesus have no idea. When the hour is, or when the day is. What makes people want to predict it? Right? It's good news for us, though. It's a culmination of redemption. Jesus says, I am coming again to restore all things, to make all things right. The temple is you. We often think like, well, this is the church. No. Look at each other. You're the church. You're the temple. You are where the Holy One dwells. If you invite Him in. You're the temple, but we get confused about this, right? The building confuses us some. About a month ago, famous building burned down in France. I forget its name. In less than a week, $650 million were raised for the restoration of a building. I think it's at $1 billion now. For stone. While human cathedrals that are burned down inside seem of little or no consequence. Human cathedrals that don't have a place to live. Human cathedrals that don't know where their next meal's coming from. Human cathedrals that are addicted. Human cathedrals. Your body is a temple. Isn't that who we're supposed to be paying attention to? Isn't that who we're supposed to be bringing the gospel to? You ever hear of the Third Temple Institute, Tony? Look it up. Orthodox Jews are trying to rebuild a third temple in Jerusalem. Orthodox Jews are wanting to reinstate animal sacrifice. When Paul says clearly Jesus was the perfect sacrifice, right? Right. And so they do not believe the Messiah has come yet. They believe the Messiah will come when that third temple is built. And that's where all their concentration is. That's where all their money's going. There's a few problems with this. The Holy of Holies. For one thing, they don't know exactly where it is. And it's all over a disagreement about a measurement. A cubit. Bill Cosby, right? What's a cubit? Is it 1.5 or 2 feet? In the past, God had sent a prophet to show Solomon where the Holy of Holies was. Now, this is how holy they hold it, right? They want it to be exact. Also, somewhere around the Holies of Holies, there's 2 mosques. Right? Dome of the Rock. I forget the other one. We kind of havoc with cause. Talk about end times, right? We'd also need a red heifer. A red heifer without blemish. The sacrifice before they stepped on the Holy of Holies. Sounds like a lot of work, right? Sounds like a lot of money. You all right? Okay. Just checking. You're welcome. All for buildings. The temple. Christ is dwelling within us. Some Christians think the third temple needs built too, rebuilt too. Because they think that the Antichrist, mentioned in Revelation, is sitting on the Holy of Holies. So if there's no Holy of Holies, how are they going to sit there? And I'm telling you, the Holy of Holies is there. You. The Antichrist can sit on you at any time. Anytime. Spread the gospel, right? One of you sitting on my scripture. I got it. Not super blessed, right? As I was looking into this, it's about us spreading the gospel. Certainly doesn't rely on all of us, but it's the Holy Spirit working within us. 1 Peter 4, starting in verse 7. 1 Peter, who in AD 65 was crucified for preaching that same gospel. Peter, who started out as Simon the Pebble, renamed Peter the Rock. He never seen Jesus' prophecy come together with earthly eyes. In AD 70, the temple was destroyed because of a Jewish uprising. It was burnt to the ground. Problem with having stones is, can you burn stones? Not really. So here's his problem. There's still a stone remaining upon a stone. Their temple is covered in gold. Hammered out onto all these things, onto the altar. What happens? That's right. Tony got enough gold she knows. So the fire was so hot. Got hair in my mouth. Gold melted down into the cracks between the stones. Smelled it right down in and it's in the cracks. Mitchell, when there's gold in the stone and crack, what do you got to do to get it out? Smash it up. Tear it out. One stone not laying upon another. Book of Hebrews says, curtains torn in that Holy of Holies when Christ died. The separation between God and us was taken care of our sinfulness. This has been done. You are the temple. Fill the temple up with good things. And you'll be glorifying God, right? So 1 Peter, I went on a tangent there for a minute. Everybody says, hey, we got lunch to get to, right? Settle down. The end of all things is near. Peter's saying this. Therefore be alert and sober mind so that you may pray. We don't pay enough attention to praying anymore. Of time set apart. I took some time this morning, Susan, and did just that, and man, is it fantastic. I prayed over every pew before that you're sitting in here this morning. That's great. Pray for each other. Pray for your family. Pray for the world, right? Pray for the gospel. To be conveyed. Above all, in church, I want you to hear this. Above all, love each other deeply. Deeply. Love each other deeply because love covers a multitude of sins. Amen. Offer hospitality with one another without grumbling. There goes my time. You mean I have to go in front of that church again, Donna? I don't want to go to church. No. Offer, serve without grumbling. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. How's that change your language, Joey? Every word. You love it when I pick on your dad, don't you? Every word. As though it's spoken by God. Wouldn't that change our language? Wouldn't it change how we love each other? Oh, we encourage, uphold each other? If anyone serves, they should do so with the strength that God provides. And I think this should be the new mission statement of the Newmarket United Methodist Church. So that in all things, home, school, work, so that in all things, God may be praised through Jesus Christ. To Him be the glory and the power forever and ever. Amen. Preach the gospel.